was falling off a little bit, and I think going into game 2, We Love Bacon, if they could just fix, like, not so much the positioning problem, I think that's an easy fix if they just learn to synergize and set the pace of the game. Instead of acting reactively, they need to be more proactive on, like, the decision making, like, hey, team up, tier 2 tower right now, hey, let's push gold, hey, instead of letting Titan make all the decisions and they just react to it and hope to win the team
Good
fight.
point. Very good point.
Yeah, I think the easiest thing to look at here for We Love Bacon is VVVG. They just have to group up. That's all they have to do. If they group up, get a team fight. I mean, 3 times that game we saw We Love Bacon. Like you're mentioning, Gold Fury attempt. Oh, Rachel's in the solo lane. Oh,
Yeah.
Fire Giant attempt. QE3Q is still in the long lane. They need to group up, look for team fights, look for engagements, and end it and get those good fights going, or they're not going to win.
Yeah.
Which is what I was saying. It's just I think they're right there. They can easily win it. Like it's obvious they have the skill. It's just getting those tiny little things mid to late game just to sort out, and that comes with team synergy and practice. And I hope they just learn from their mistakes the first game, go into second game strong.
Zimb, you were shaking your head there. You were like,
I don't think they can. I think Titan just was testing the waters, you know, with this new early game aggression they're putting out, and I think the way Titan plays, they're just gonna make it better the second game around, and I think Bacon is gonna fall short under the early mid game this time, and which means there won't be a late game to go.
So my question for you then is, what does Titan do here in the picks and bans, right? As we go into that in just a little bit, what do they do? What should they be looking to do? Are they going to stick to their guns? Are they going to play their game? Or are they going to change it up and catch them off guard?
Keep Confree on those type of guys, you know, like Osiris, Vamana, just something that does more during the early mid game than Afro. I don't want to see him play Afro anymore. It's getting old. And also, I think Replicas just needs the early game jungles, maybe Hanbas or Thor. Just keep that momentum up. Don't fall back on that super late game, you know, Kronos, Kali, weird stuff, you know, just keep going for the early game and they'll win the late game.
Yeah.
Well, you could tell by this game with Titan, they understand what they need to do. It seemed like they reformatted their team comp, and they're like, oh, well, you know, Confrey, step it up. We need you on more of a carry position. We don't need you on the supporting type like gods. Because you could tell by his mostly played god pool, it's more of like Aphrodite, Ra.
He showed now he can carry. He can carry it.
Exactly. Yeah. Confrey knows what he's doing.
Don't be scared.
He's a big boy. He can carry.
Well,
big boy.
He was a point of discussion, you know, a lot there where Confrey, people were like, you know, Confrey shaky, right? And people were really concerned about him.
I gave him slack, like maybe a bit too much slack, but I mean, I just want to see him, you know, go out from the support kind of role player and just go and just carry a team, man. Like, he's a solo lane. Like most solo laners, EU, NA, they play these guys where they carry, you know, Bakasura, Osiris, just pick something that scales very well to late game and just have confidence in yourself to carry. Don't Replicas carry for you.
And that's also the other thing I'm worried about. It shouldn't just be the Replicas show. Pretty Prime, obviously by his Vulcan play, he doesn't need to be on a supporting mid-type player, but however, given his god pool, I'm not too sure if he can play much other mids that are, you know, hyper carry-ish sort of mids or mages.
Because yesterday they had like support mid and support
yes,
lane, right?
like that was the biggest problem. So they had
right,
Pretty Prime on Ra, which, you know, he's great. Ra is great and everything, but there's no point to have double support mages when, like, all right, Replicas carry, like, go on. We'll heal you. Like, it's not.
Well, and also just another thing to bring up, the Ra wasn't that much of a factor for We Love Bacon in that matchup, which was something that I thought was rather interesting.
I felt the Ra was okay. It was more of like, Bacon did well. They repositioned, and I think they used the Ra heal effectively. It was just, I think it was just them deciding when to fight and acting more reactively.
And let's see what they're going to do here as the bans are coming through. We knew that Serket was going, but there goes Sylvanas as well.
Yeah, Sylvanas and Serket off the board. I'm wondering if they're going to try to remove Athena here. Obviously, Suzuki making a very big splash with that character. Obviously, Serket gone means you don't have to worry too much about the next ban. They may also be targeting Nan with that Nemesis in the jungle, or maybe another jungle pick that he does like. Okay, so there's the Nemesis ban away. He played fantastically, and I think the biggest thing is, you know, this is the one downside of going with the Winged Blade build that he went with. There was this really weird transition about, you know, 11 to 15 minutes in where you don't have that damage, and you saw that he was swinging his sword but not hitting for any substantial amount. Nox getting removed here again. They don't want Pre-Prime to just shut Aimless down. Aimless had a little trouble getting off the ground in the beginning of the last match. Audi's going to be first picked up here. We Love Bacon has 2 more picks to go, and they got to make them count.
Think Quan's going to play a role here?
They gave Thor away for Agni?
I'm not too sure the Agni pick is a big alarm. Why Agni? It's
Vulcan was still available.
I think they could have gotten Agni later on, like.
Get a Thor first, maybe?
Unless they have a team comp specifically designed with Agni
Kali's
first
still
pick.
available.
Exactly. Yes.
I don't want to see. I want to see a Hambasa maybe or something like that.
We love Bacon's first 2 picks. Fairly safe, solid picks. You can't go wrong with Osiris. You can't go wrong with Thor. There's not much that counters them. I think that's a great setup to mold a team comp.
There it is.
There's Ao Kwang.
Ao Kwang.
I said it.
I think it's gonna be an Emir too. Yeah.
There's the Emir. So Kanye Life will be getting his Emir. He plays fantastically on that character. Ao Kwang going to be going into the hands of Red because he likes that late game hyper carry. But again, like we were mentioning yesterday, the difference between something like a Kali and an Ao Kwang will have presence all game long versus Kali, who just scales really well in the late but doesn't have that early presence. So this could become a case of feed the dragon.
I think it's gonna be a Hercules ban from Titan because Hercules really hard counters Emir in lane. I would be surprised if they didn't ban Herc because I mean, yeah, it's just great against Emir. You know, you pull it, we can't do much.
Especially with Sylvanas banned here. Like,
yeah,
I would imagine We Love Bacon.
Ban to Herc.
They wouldn't go in the traditional Geb route. But what's interesting to note, like where commonly we see like support, the most common 3 picks are support, hunter, and like a jungler. In this case, We Love Bacon immediately solo, immediately got the jungle and their mid lane. So they might be saving something special for that Ymir in the next 2 picks.
Well, Athena's got to go here. They can't let her have it. I mean, Suzuki was, there you go. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
Suzuki went off on that character, and his taunts were 3-4 people every time. He knows this character very well. I'm curious to see what Suzuki can actually do with a different Guardian. It seems like he knows that character through and through.
Maybe they don't know that Herc is actually really good against Emir. I mean, the thing is with Herc is, if you pull the Emir in lane and just like, you dash away with him, there's nothing Emir can, he can't escape. And like, especially if you have, if they pick up an Anner Emir here, they would have 4 physical, sure, but the Anner Impale, slow, make sure you can always hit the Herc pull, you know? So I don't know what's going to come out here. I mean, I'm expecting a Herc, but probably not.
Oh, do it!
Oh, please.
Do it!
Oh.
Let the heavens rain!
My goodness.
That's my man right there!
I'm calling it forever. That's 80 carry Zeus.
Oh my,
please.
So?
I'm calling it forever. This might be the most ballsy call I've ever made.
I'm moving to Brazil.
But it's 80
Well,
carry
I mean,
Zeus.
that actually wouldn't be a bad idea. Pretty nice place. So Zeus gets picked up. The significance of Zeus here for you, Tribear, you seemed to just go off the wall with that one.
I love Zeus. He was one of the first few characters I played 2.5 years ago. I love him to death. The problem is his death is what he's good at. He's not a top-tier pick, and because he doesn't really have much mobility, he just has his Aegis shield, it's very difficult to be able to make it work.
Chalk gets locked in.
I called it!
And
Let's go,
Is
dude!
it Zeus Odin duel lane?
It's Zeus Odin dual lane.
Wow.
This
Odin
is hype,
duo.
dude. This is a kill lane.
All right, guys, so we're going to see how all this plays out. My goodness, Zeus Odin locked in. Let's see how that plays for We Love Bacon. Toss it over to our casters, Gandhi and Hindu Man. Take it away, fellas.
Like,
Dude,
we go back in time.
I love it.
We're gonna see a Zeus Odin lane. That's
Now, Zeus Odin kind of works like Odin throws his cage, and then Zeus drops his ultimate, and then there's a bunch of lightning anywhere, and then he just,
Then there's no people left.
yeah, there's no one left. Everyone kind of dies. But on the other side, they're going against a Ymir and an Anhur. So that lane matchup, as excited as we all are for the Zeus Odin, it is very hard to deal with a Ymir and an Anhur. Both of these gods synergize very well together, especially in the early game.
Okay, Zeus doesn't have any sort of escape other than his 2 to speed himself up.
Blink.
So, well, Blink is a possibility. The problem is, though, Gandhi, is that one good wall from Ymir is going to put Zeus in a really bad spot, so he has to be very, very careful about positioning. Early game wave clear, very, very similar between the 2, so it's not going to be too surprising to see it go backwards and forwards in that lane. But when they hit level 5, that's going to be the be-all and end-all of how that lane's going to play.
Now, the big thing, too, that we saw here is the fact that Ao Kwang was picked up for Titan. Now, given this composition that they have, Ao Kwang's going to be able to go in due to all of this CC.
That's right. He's going to go into all that CC. The one thing about it, Gandhi, as well, you will also see that the Agony pick that we saw was all about getting that online, so they've got the extra CC to let Kwang get in there. Now we're going to see the game, though. Titan 1-0 up against Wheel of Bacon as we go into this. An early push as a 5-man.
Kanye Life, he's got the early blink, he's got the stun, Chuck's gonna hit it, Zeus in a first blood, Titan!
I am Zeus, he was Zeus. Welcome to the world of Smite again. in a big tournament, we're going to see a Zeus AD carry, and already he's first blood.
I'm sure they're kind of like, well, I didn't see that coming.
What, the invade, or?
Yeah, just the blink on Kanye already.
It's very, very unusual that you will see a Guardian go for that early blink, unless they go in for a really big play. The problem with him doing that, it means he's not got much sustain in terms of health or mana potions. It normally means he has to sacrifice something elsewhere. Looking at the position of Titan, though, now where Kanye is and Ataraxia, something tells me they may make a different start play.
Look at this.
Fade in.
Kanye's gonna get ready to go for this. Kanye, eyes on Ymir. He's gonna walk up to this. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, we won once. I dare you. Odin's gonna come in. The freeze is gonna be there. They weren't, did they?
No, they gone.
Did
They took them. They took them away. The
Get out of
experience is in both their favor. No dip back down.
Oh my God. That is.
I apologize. No, I'm wrong. I was all excited.
Yeah, no. You're wrong.
I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. I'm so excited. Ridiculous. The thing is, both the Hogs on cooldown. Now, this is a interesting play about this because they both went for the. Actually, they didn't. Odin still got Hog available, so they can go back and do blue. They were trying to put it. Oh, the blink in again on the freeze. QE3's in trouble. Hi, Zeus, we're back in your face again. What are you going to do? The enhance from Kanye doing good.
Oh!
The impale was good, but it wasn't enough to bring him down.
Now, on her, if this is your first time looking at him, soon he's going to have Shifting Sands online, which means it's a big pillar that comes up. He can actually impale people into the pillar, causing them to be stunned, and with Ymir, that's basically going to be a kill. If they land that on Zeus, it's GG.
Can also impale people into the wall. There's a leap in from Ataraxia, then impale into the wall. Odin takes some poke and backs away, but now we're going to see rotation in from Nan. The overextension, Ataraxia's out of mana as well. He needs to watch himself.
He ran over at least one ward there, which kind of was like, Titan said, well, we don't really want to deal with this anymore. Another thing that's important to note, Titan loves Order side. They're one of the few teams who actually prefer it over the Chaos side, and they do such a good job. On the right side, though, Chalk is in a battle.
Well, they're battling backwards and forwards. It's Chuck versus, an Osiris. This is kind of standard. They're not level 5 yet. It's going to be a little bit longer before Lord of the Afterlife is online. So Comfrey played that correctly. He didn't over-panic in that situation. He'll heal back up as well, so it'll be okay for now.
How does really the lane matchup work with the whole Shock and Osiris, right? Because you have Stormcall, which is going to silence, and you naturally have a bunch of sustain. Is it really come down to the first kill?
It's just sustain overall. I mean, you've got Smithy's Hammer online for Comfrey already. He's gone very tanky. He can do that because he's also got a Thor in the jungle, which means he's built against both the jungler and the solo laner early, and then he can transition later on into damage items if he so chooses. But Nan, talking about him, he's actually over on this left-hand side. They may look for a play here.
Kanye Life's just waiting for him. He wants him. He wants to battle. He wants it so bad.
The other jungler across the way, Replicas, is looking for an opportunity. Will he be able to find it? He's hanging around looking for Troll, who's level 4 right now. Sorry, level 5 right now. He's actually going to come around for this rotation. He's waiting patiently.
He's going to have the execute after, like, he's going to have the execute.
Patiently. He's not. No, I thought he was going to go. I thought he was going to go.
Oh, this is so scary for when you're an Osiris in that scenario and you see him, you're like, oh my God, if I would have went up and attacked, I was dead.
Well, both teams were trying to look for the play because they know mid-Harpies are coming up very, very soon. In terms of about 10, 15 seconds time, keep an eye on the supports because their rotations will begin now.
And already when you're taking a look at level 5s here, Agni has a much better mid-Harpy fight than Nuwa. Nuwa, it takes at least 15 minutes for her to come online. Not's going to be in a lot of trouble. There's some damage. A lot of it. Pretty Prime's going to have it. There's the execute. They'll be able to reinitiate. Look at that dragon. Down he comes crashing, doing extra damage to the Harpies. Right Harps and left will be going in favor of Titan.
Much better start from Titan. They get the kill. They also get both Harpies, as you said, and it gives them a nice lead. 2.5 thousand experience and 1.3 thousand gold at the moment. That was a good start from them. It's a much more synergized and energetic Titan performance at the start.
Which I think it was kind of a comfort thing. Every day that you kind of step onto this stage, you get a little bit scared. And I expect that to happen throughout the entire course of the SWC.
Nerves, first thing in the morning, first game of the day, opening the show, it can cause a few issues. They still won that game overall, but the nerves were there, the shots were fired, but now they're trying to make it worthwhile for themselves this game. Looking at Zeus right now, he's not having the best matchup so far. He's been under pressure early on, but he's not doing too bad for himself. Still less than 100 gold behind of this Anhur.
he does have good clear at the end of the day. Zeus, the big thing about Zeus, it comes down to positioning and the other team's positioning. If the other team steps on a line and you're in the perfect spot, wait, hold the phone, Kanye Life's gonna come in, Pretty Prime's got the Mahes, but nope, no follow-up there. He's just gonna go ahead and clear the wave.
Fire shards just lets you disengage when you get yourself caught in a bad situation. Use that, it's basically like 3 beads and Aegis combined.
Pretty Prime not scared at all, and he has no real reason to be. Now, looking at Nuwa here, we talked about the last game, the difference between Book of Thoth and Warlock Sash. The big thing with Nuwa is that you want Warlocks.
Oh, he's going to walk into it. Ymir, he's not seen him. He didn't realize he was around the corner. The wall was not good from Kanye there, but the execution, I go, boom! Worked out well for him, and now Odin caging him too.
He wants to go against him, and now Pretty Prime's got it. Can he turn around and take out Suzuki? He just wants to completely get out. Aimless is going to be chasing down Zeus. He wants to kill. He didn't get the charge, though.
Oh, they're bringing him to the Godfury. Godfury's down. Lord of the Afterlife is used. He's going to try and chase in. Not going to find anything on the backside. Comfrey zoning out QE3. And now he's Troll who could be caught out because he's got no escape.
And there's Honor the Impale, not into the wall. Doesn't get the stun, and Honor goes, yeah, definitely. I am going to eat you. Thor comes crashing down, and Ao Guang goes, yeah, I'm already in the sky, and I'm a dragon.
I am a dragon. Imagine, I would love to turn into a dragon when I kill people. I mean, I don't kill people, but you know.
That's borderline creepy, man.
I'm a bit concerned. I may have just given the game away about my secret history. But hey, the bow ties.
I could see it. I can see it.
It's a possibility. 40-0 though, 6 minutes in now with the Gold Fury going down. 3,500 experience lead, 3,500 gold lead as well in favor of Titan. And things are looking good.
Now, Ao Guang, we've seen kind of like both demonic grips have been, or demonic grip intel kinds is exactly what everyone's been using. But it looks like we might be seeing a Hasten Fatalis kind of start coming out of Ao Guang, which then means he's going to be able to have his attack chain, he's going to be able to stay on. But I don't know if it's necessarily the best.
I'm not sure if it's going to be Fatalis. Well, there's a freeze again from Kanye. Has a better wall, but he's not caught off the angle perfectly. You can see the Dragon Dodge coming out Rapid He's going to execute him. It was during the immunity, so that's why he didn't go into full Dragon form. But now we can see Non's going to survive for now. Nice play again coming out.
Shout outs to hi-rez Adonis, our cameraman, giving you all the action. He is fantastic at what he does.
Yeah, thank God we got rid of that bad dude, right? It was terrible.
Chalk gonna go ahead and head back into lane. Zeus, you know, as regardless of how this game goes, I still have like all eyes on Zeus. And QE3Q, one of the things probably why he was swayed to play Zeus is when he used to play on North American servers, he was on like 270 ping. So he was like, well, I'm comfortable with this god. It's AoE base. I can clear people out. It's not a hunter.
Just be patient with Zeus, okay? At the moment, his early game isn't the strongest in the world, but when he starts getting items online, he'll actually develop into a monstrosity. And you can see once again the collapsing in mid, looking for damage. Good poke again from Prime.
They got it.
This game, like Repicas is just turning to Andy, so he's just camping mid over and over again. Surprisingly enough, exactly when Andy played the same god as him, he did the same thing as well.
Well, it's endless setups. I mean, Agni, everything synergizes so well.
Black Ultimate is coming out, and there's Swung to finish it with the Dragon again. Really nicely played from Comfrey. Considering that matchup should be even, something crazy went on there. And Terexia gets a kill in the solo again. 1v1.
This is snowballing out of control here for We Love Bacon. They need to regain their composure, but unfortunately, Nuwa has barely any farm at all. Right now, you're looking at it, she's got tier 2 boots, she's got a Lost artifact, and she was forced into 2 actives. Like, that's normally not what we see out of mid.
What I also like coming out from Titan as well, they're getting sentry wards down deep to defend and stop them having wall coverage. So we can see Repicas coming over and over again for the ganks, and they've got no vision. This is why Nuwa's losing farm. She has to stay so far back in case she does get killed. When she's got fire shards up, she will come a bit further out, but still, she has to be very careful.
And fire shards, although it hits everyone, wait a tick.
He's got to go in. Oh,
he's got out. Thor, he can teleport to the hammer. He's very, very safe. But when Fire Shards hits, granted it hits everyone and she has free damage to the entire team. But as we said earlier, until she hits level 20, it's really not doing much damage.
No, he's not really doing that much damage at the moment. He's just there for survivability and map control, because you get vision when you go into the sky to see everything that's going on there. We're checking in now, as you can see, with the duo lane Ataraxia up against QE3Q, a 2-level lead right now. But an invade on the blue buff is coming out right now. Is Kanye is going to catch Nan in a bit of a situation, has to jump to his hammer. The wall's gonna deny access, but the Anvil of Dawn to the rescue. But in doing so, now Odin's in trouble.
Oh, Odin, he died for his son Thor. I think that's how that lore works, right? Isn't it something like that? Isn't it? Son thingy? I got out of my comfort zone. I shouldn't have said
Yeah,
it.
you should have done that. We were fine. We were doing so well together. And you do that. They're going to take the blue buff, though. Titan, after picking up that kill for themselves as well. So keeping the pressure on the map, trying to control as much as possible. Mid Harpies on the right are due up soon. And Golfury's back up in 30 seconds.
I don't see any way that QE3 can actually come out on top in this
Oh,
lane.
Desert Fury gets popped out by Ataraxia. He's trying to stop him back in to push the wave in again. Now Ataraxia's got a decision to make. He can rotate if he wants to here, or he can just go back to base. He's going to actually choose the latter and go back to base and buy as well at the same time, because he knows Gold Fury's coming up soon as well.
We Love Bacon needs to basically have to... They're in a tough predicament, right? It's like, do you want to spend the money on Sentry Wards and go for jungle control? But that's then delay their build. Or do you want to go for the damage? Now, Nuwa, she shouldn't even be looking at wards, in my personal opinion. She needs to get a Warlock sash on. And the reason you want Warlocks is because it actually adds to her clay soldiers as well.
But then who's going to put the wards down for her again? You blink in from Ymir again, doesn't find the frost. Actually, he did. The beads came out to defend from that one. So he's going to live for the time being. But once again, the invasion to the left-hand side. The ring comes out. The Odin Wombo combo with Zeus is online.
Oh, God.
But Clark doesn't care about that. Rapid cast going in. The wall was huge coming out from Nan, though. Keeps his teammate alive. And everybody disengages. Bacon played that so well.
That was perfect. They need about 10 more of those until they're even on builds at this point. Osiris is looking to go ahead and rotate over. You have Ymir aggressing. He's going to hit him right in there. The wall's going to hit as well. Thor's going to teleport in. He's crazy, man. Ymir's going to be able to get out of this one. Agni all the way on the back. Osiris might be taken out very soon.
Godfrey's just going ham under the tower right now. Repicast in the meantime does take out somebody in the back lines. Zeus is running for his life, but he ain't getting away from Repicast, and Prime's bombs over the wall. A deicide at 11 minutes in this game, and that's a Gold Fury.
I think everyone kind of coming into this event was really unsure about what Al Guang was going to bring to the table of competitive Smite. We said, yeah, you know, his attack chain's very, very fast. He does a lot of damage. He's got a stealth, his execute. But where do you play him? Do you play him in the solo? Do you play him in the jungle? It's safe to say no matter where you play him, you got the execute, so you're good.
You have the execute, but the thing about the execute is you go all in, you execute someone, and that's technically a disengage unless there's a follow-up. You need heavy CC on the team. And this is one thing Titan did in picks and bans that's so important. They first picked Agni, and everyone was like, why Agni first pick? Because they wanted that CC control in mid-Gandhi, as well as Ymir, to allow this pick to go through, to have the CC that they needed to make it work.
You know, I was afraid to take a look at the charts. I really was. And that you're going to see 14,000 XP in favor of Titan, 9,500.
Comfrey's in trouble. He's going to get stunned out, but he's got teammates coming in. Can they make them pay for that? Fire charge has been used there by Nuwa. When she lands, she should certainly be dead, and there she is. The wall bought a second, but only a second, and it was still going to drop down again. Meanwhile, left-hand side, Ataraxia 2v1, and Desert Fury to your face, and now he's going to take on Zeus. He's changing his mind. His detonator.
Hit the B. Hit it.
He's not got it. 5
Hit the
seconds.
detonate.
No,
hit the door.
He's not got it. He's not got it. Meanwhile, right-hand side, Troll surrounded by 3 members of Titan. He's going to use the afterlife over the wall. Great decision. But where's he going to go to now? Because he's surrounded once again. Down he goes. 16-2. Titan are starting to put the pressure on completely. This is their game now. I feel they can almost taste the victory.
That was a very, very scary play. Zeus had one job.
Kill.
Hit the detonate.
It was on cooldown.
Hit the detonate.
It was on cooldown.
Build cooldown.
Oh, God. Meanwhile, Repicast gets another kill in the mid lane against Nan. It's starting to become a little one-sided as Titan are really looking to just pick these people apart now. Bacon in trouble, and now you're going to see, oh, Nuwa, that's a wall. Bit of damage. They're not going to follow up on it, though. They're just starting to position, steal away more and more jungle. This is a little bit more like the Titan we've seen of old, in all fairness.
I think realistically, when I look back at what happened yesterday when they lost, yeah, I'm not sure they were the Titan that we saw at the EU Regionals. I think they come to play when they have to kind of thing, just like EU. They had a feeling, they were kind of in this safety blanket. They were like, oh yeah, we can beat everyone else. We'll make it to day 2.
Ataraxia is going to go in deep. He's not scared. Straight to your face, straight down the impale was good into the pillar. And another kill in favor of Titan.
Repikas surging through the jungle. He's got a Thor in front of him on the left side. He does have a Nuwa and an Odin. Does he want to go for it? No, he's going to turn around, steal this red, and they're going to continue to advance their lead. Probably shove up mid just a little bit here. But my question is, Titan, right now, if they get another 3 to 4 kills, do they continue the siege or do they just peel off and go Fire Giant?
It's 14 minutes in the game, Gandhi. 14 minutes in the game, and they're in full control. It's going to be so difficult right now for Bacon to come back into this game because Titan are online. They've got most of their core item build online too, and they're able to beat their lanes individually, which causes so many issues. Blink in, freeze, beats force, great blink away from Zeus though. Survives for now, but that's all his actives used.
Everything. So in the next team fight, he's going to be in a world of trouble, and that is just Ymir's basic ability. That's not even his ultimate, man. Like, you have to do that. That's why Zeus is kind of out of the Western meta.
I really love the picks that came out from Titan, the pick and ban phase. The way they ran the pick and ban phase was good. The issue is, they're due to face, whoever wins this best of 3 between these two teams, Gandhi, is up against SK Gaming.
Ymir just zoning here. Ao Guang's going to take over now. That's going to be Repikas. Pretty Prime on Agni's just going to burn through this. This is a free tower, and We Love Bacon. They need to try to turtle up, but the problem is that's just going to push them further and further back. They at least have some breathing room right now, as we're going to see Titan go back to the base. They're going to buy out. And again, double rings coming out for Ao Guang. I guess that's it.
There's an issue there. You saw Wheel of Bacon. They actually saw that Titan were back in. If this was at 25 minutes in the game and you see the team back, you rush the Fire Giant.
Yeah.
The problem is it's 16 minutes in, and it's going to take you a little bit longer than you'd like to take that Fire Giant down before they respawn and get back there. So they don't have that opportunity, and it means that Titan get a free back. They'll clear their jungle and continue the siege. There is no towers remaining. Fire Giant is the prime opportunity for them. Even the Gold Fury, I mean, gold is still important at 16 minutes in.
Have we seen an Ao Guang go negative this weekend? I don't think we have. Or even not go super positive.
Statsman, help us out. Not sure.
I'm pretty sure he's just been crushing the entire weekend. Which is great, because he's one of my favorite gods in the game.
Up, speed buff is available, and Atarax is in position to go in his Repikas with the illusion. Oh, he uses the beast. The ring's going to buy some time, though. Good ring from Odin to keep his teammate alive, but he's going to go down instead to the damage from Repikas as well. Zeus does good damage. He's going to detonate. Has he got a detonate? Yes, he does. He takes out one, but it looks like more are going to go down too.
And on the other side here, Osiris is going to jump in. He's got the tether on 4 people, but he's in a lot of trouble. Storm Cow is going to hit, and Pale's going to follow up, and now he's going to go down. This is going to be a Fire Giant for those of you playing the home game.
The home game?
Yeah, they're watching it. They're like, oh, I wonder what the next decision is. And like a Family Feud board comes up behind them, and it's like, do they take Phoenix or do they take Fire Giant? It's Fire Giant.
It's the home board. Okay, cool. So Fire Giant is being done right now. Odin is online, though. He's going to try and make his way over. It's going to go down quick. The only issue is normally it would take a lot longer, but they're a full team with the damage they have available because of the lead they've gathered. It's going to be down, and they're going to catch Odin on the way in. I can see it coming.
Ataraxia missed his auto attack. He does have a leap. He's just...
Odin knew. Odin blinked away. He was like, nope, 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 get me out. I am not dying again. I'm sick of it. But in doing so, they give up speed buff. They take the blue buff as well away from Wheel of Bacon. 22-3. It feels very one-sided, and it is.
Yeah.
But it's not because Bacon have played badly this tournament whatsoever, Gandhi.
Oh, no, not at all. This is the Titan we expected to see. This is the #1 team coming out of Europe. I mean, granted, they entered into the event as the 6th seed, but my God, are they strong.
They are a strong team. They're nervous. It can clearly be seen that they're nervous coming into this. But Bacon themselves came out today, all guns blazing, and really put the pressure to these EU top dogs right now. And I'm really pleased at how well they performed for their country in Brazil. Like, it's amazing to see them for such a short time with the game overall. They played it really well.
Pretty Prime now, gonna get the deep wards in. He's going to be standing right next to one. Unfortunately, that wasn't a sentry ward, so he can't see it. So now they're going to continue to aggress. Now, Gold Fury's down. They've taken it. Fire Giant's down. They've taken it. Titan wants to end this game right now. They're going to be waiting for a simple blink.
Watch a blink.
Out of Kanye Life, who is on Ymir, the big blue guy with the frost breath. And as soon as that happens, it'll be an all-in, and seeing since they have to wait on her, it's not the worst thing.
Their engage here is either Ymir or Prime with a stun. Watch for the walls, watch for the stun from Prime, because that'll be the moment they engage if they see the opportunity. That's why you can see Bacon's positioning is very deep, very spread inside this base. They don't want to group up, because if they do, the game will end. Ataraxia with the split push in middle, using that pillar to apply more damage and keep them slowed if they try and come in. Kanye quite happy to tank the left. But Bacon have to fight soon. They can't just let these fall, and that's why you see Thor going up.
Yeah, Odin's got the ring there. He's got him locked up. Thor's going to do some damage there. Comfrey's going to come in with a tether. Pretty Prime's going to get out of dodge. In comes Honor. Kanye Life able to find one. In the backside, Nan, he's so weak, but he's going to be able to get to the fountain. That's going to give them at least the left Phoenix. The middle Phoenix is completely weak as well. QE3 has to wait for the opportune time. He burned his Zeus ult. Oh no!
It fell to the wall, and it was lights out for that Odin. Zeus trying to do his best to defend here as the team of Titan group into mid lane and try and bring that one down. It's down as well. The right-hand one. Kanye quite happy to tank this one up as well. The wall access denied, he says. Still happy to tank it. He will regen. This is all three Phoenixes down as they dive in for Zeus.
Ooh.
He goes down on the back. New was getting chased down by Ataraxia, looking for another. Picks him up. Thor gets away, but for how long?
Yeah, Ataraxia now is in a one-on-one with Osiris. Osiris, even though he just came off the fountain, was like, I don't really want to deal with you right now. And Titan, they've learned their lesson. They were able to come back in an amazing game in the EU, so now they're forced to go all the way back. Honor's going to stay and fight just a little bit. Pretty Prime. That was one meteor from Agni doing all that damage. That is scary.
It's huge the amount of damage they have right now with the Fire Giants still online. I like the decision to just go back and recall. You don't want to pull a Cloud9 in this situation, you know?
It's very, very...
You don't want to make the mistake.
It's a very disciplined decision.
It's the right decision as well. Go back, take your buffs, and then just end peacefully. Enjoy the moment that you've had, because you've played a very good... This is the best performance I've seen out of Titan the whole tournament so far, and they needed this one. They needed this one especially because they're coming up against SK Gaming, and SK are looking hot.
More winged blades. This is something that we don't see a lot of coming out of the North American region at all. Wingblade is normally just known as like the weaker version of Witchblade, right? But it's so much better.
Health, cooldown reduction, attack speed, movement speed, and when you get hit by a slow, you will then become immune to slows, and your movement speed will increase as well, Gandhi. What's wrong with that? And it's cost effective.
Yeah, by far. Speed buff's going to be taken here from Titan. On the left side, you can see Chalk is going to go ahead and push that lane up. On the right side, you're seeing the four-man grouping. They're going to rotate into the middle, going to shove this through. Kanye Life doesn't care.
They're looking for a pick. All they're trying to do is a pick, and there is a pick on the right-hand side right now as Kanye goes in. The dragon damage is huge. They're going to chase down and pick up Troll, who was overextended a little bit, trying to push out that lane. Now they're going to close in on mid. The members of Bacon, they put on a performance, but right now, it's the boys of Titan. They should be ending this game and moving themselves on to the semi-finals.
Titan have secured a top 4 finish at the Smite World Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Titan. Next, they will be facing their European brothers.
Yeah, no jokes.
SK Gaming.
See those faces? There was no jokes on those faces at all. That was serious business. Like,
have you seen Ataraxia's house? I saw it in the video. Oh, it's fantastic.
I didn't see the video.
Oh.
Is it a good? Was it a castle?
Yes. Go on, boy, take it away, buddy.
There's one thing I've learned in all my days of casting with Gandhi, is that he will make you feel so small at the end of it. But look at you, man. Sad faces.
Zeus. Let's hear it. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen. They did it.
Give it up for Zeus.
They did the god of the sky. This is the worst lightning bolt ever.
Yeah.
It's like square and weirdly shaped, but I did it.
You were trying to convey a message there, but it wasn't working out.
You know, it's so hard to play Zeus. It really is,
Yeah.
because the early game is the weakest portion, and this is the thing. Because I love Zeus so much, you have to sit back until like level 6. You can't be in the, like, don't exist in the jungle. Like, you have this leash that tethers you to the tower for the first 5-10 minutes of the game, and then you'll be able to pull out. I mean, Q83Q, my man, he was able to pull first or second damage the entire time. In fact, he barely finished in second top damage that entire game. He was getting kills with chain lightning. The auto attacks were on point, but they were so far behind. The Odin pick made it very, very difficult, and it's rough, but I want to bring it back to the First Blood that changed his entire game. Logitech First Blood, let's bring it up and watch what happened to QE3Q. Titan obviously knows the weakness of Zeus early game, and this is painful. No, that's my guy, don't do it.
And he's dead. That happened at about 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was not...
Well, they know.
Yeah, it was just not good for them there, and it's unfortunate. You know, Allied, you had a lot of, I guess, you know, caution in regards to the Zeus pick. There were plenty more options available. Why Zeus?
I mean, I like what they were going with it. Like, it was, I know what they want to do. Like, the Zeus stream, like, oh man, it's just going to be great. Like, cage him in, everybody. But the problem is, it's just better, more viable picks. And the problem with Zeus is getting him past level 5 without dying at least 3 times is, well, it's really hard. It's extremely hard. So I think the better options would have been, you know, Freya, Vulcan, because it's obvious that they needed a mage, right? They needed some kind of magical damage. However, a lot of the top guardians were banned out. You could see there was 3 guardian bans there. That's very, like, uncommon, especially, like, you know, this meta. There's a lot of hypercarry picks like Ao Quang. But overall, I feel like it wasn't the worst pick, but there's highly better options. It probably just wasn't, like I said before, the comfort picks. The comfort picks, that probably was what he was most comfortable with.
Yeah, definitely did, you know, hurt them there. But, you know, and it's going to be unfortunate for We Love Bacon as their tournament life is done here at the Smite World Championships. But we got to give a shout out again to our Gamer Launch Player of the Game. That's going to go to Replica. So it seems like Replica's Ao Quang there coming out huge. You know, I mean, we feared the Ao Quang pick. I mean, that was something that was talked about. Everyone said, like, that's going perma-ban, right? Didn't happen this game. And he gets another nod for player of the game one more time.
You know, I want to give a shout out to Ataraxia as well. The damage he's able to do on her in that last match, plus his obelisks were out of this world. Good slowing mechanics, blocked a lot of escapes, especially coming from a Ray Troll, trying to get out of the fights once he did engage with that ultimate. And I think the play coming out from Ataraxia was on point. And, you know, once you get Ao Quang going, he's a steam train. And the damage he's able to do is just phenomenal. Yeah. And there was at one point, which was just, it's a good example of what Ao Quang is. It's just he got trapped in the rings with Odin. He's thinking, oh, God, I'm trapped. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm Ao Quang, okay. He's dead.
Yeah, problem solved, right? Simp, your thoughts on that one? I mean, Titan played that one wonderfully, and it from the start, I should say, with that First Blood, you know, Titan's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's like we predicted. I mean, they just they won the early game and mid game.
For the predictions.
This time they won the early, they won the mid game, and there's not like real late game to actually fight over. I mean, the thing is, if you're gonna play Zeus, don't fall behind early because you're reliant on like levels to do your damage. And getting first place is just like, I don't know. It could have worked, I guess, but like Ali said, there's better picks. And if you do want to go for Zeus, make sure you don't screw up early. And
if you want to go for Zeus, you just don't pick Zeus.
Yeah, and I guess I kind of like Zeus. I like Zeus, but I don't know. He's just not that good, man.
Zeus stream is dead.
Yeah,
Don't say that.
Guess. Can you just
don't say that?
Buff Zeus again? I
Yeah,
guess.
right. Just take care of Zeus, hi-rez. No, seriously though, it was not a good look for them by any means. We Love Bacon. You know, they thought that they were gonna catch him off guard, right? Maybe you know, but it was such a distinct way they had to play that from the break. Already collapsed. But guys, we want to hear what you think on the social media. So all you got to do, use the hashtag SWC and also tweet at Smite Game. Let us know how you're enjoying the Smite World Championships. You know, are you watching it from your home? You know, your setup maybe? Are you watching from a laptop in a classroom? Go ahead, let us know how you're enjoying Smite. And, you know, it's been a good weekend here so far. Good start to the weekend. We have a great match coming up. We have OMG facing off against Cognitive Red. That's going to be one heck of a battle between those two teams. I can't wait for it, but I will say this much. After seeing that game, and seeing how Titan just steamrolled to
Yeah.
game 2, I'm a little worried for OMG going into this Cognitive Red matchup. Just saying. Little concerned.
I definitely am as well. One reminder, if you want to pick up the mobile app we have, the Smite World Championship, go over to App Store. iOS and Android are both supported. The name of it is Smite Pro League. Of course, it is our competitive app, but it will be for the SWC. There's an event on there as well, so we'll tell you when games are going live, when games are done, and also if you're here live at the event, you'll be able to pick up some free giveaways. But since we're talking about Repicos, and we're talking about jungle and
That's right.
Algrong and how powerful they can be, let's check out what the role of jungle is really all about.
I'm the jungler for Cognitive Prime. It's the best role because you really get to control the tempo of the game, and you get to be everywhere on the map and really choose what lanes win and lose. So,
I play jungle. It's all about seeing opportunities and going for them. Going for invades, kills, goal furies. It depends.
I play the jungle role, and I like to gank people and poop on them.
My role is jungle. It's more like second support in the game. Usually my role is to help every lane and make them big.
You look for ganks, you look to make plays and opportunities, and then you just farm efficiently.
the best gods for jungle are Serket, Osiris, and Thor. All those gods are really fast, really mobile, and they do really well at sticking on targets, so they work the best.
Thor, definitely. He's a first ban, first pick, like no matter what. Serket is up there as well. Nemesis falling off a little bit, and then that's Freya. Always Storm.
I pretty much like to play all junglers except for like simplistic, cheesy ones. Like I feel like Serket's pretty simplistic in a way, and along with Arachne, you kind of just pop abilities and they do damage for you.
Late game, the jungler's job is usually to jump in and look for a pick on a mage, usually the mid, and get him out of the fight, because he's going to have more AoE value than the jungler's going to have.
I try to engage the team fights and peel for my friends. As I said, I'm the support, so I shouldn't really focus on taking kills or killing enemies. I have to help my friends survive and put how much as I can.
You have like two possibilities. Usually, like if you're a tankier jungle, like say more ability-based like Thor or something, you go for the backline immediately and you try to like you either distract their damage or you kill their damage, which is their mid laner or their AD carry, and sometimes solo laner. And then as a more assassin jungler, you pretty much take one out. You have to catch something at a position, and if you sacrifice your life for it, that happens sometimes, but usually it's worth it.
My most memorable moment of the SPL was week 7 or 8 when I was playing Osiris, and I had really good jukes and baited out a few kills and ended up turning what could have been a bad fight into a really good fight.
There's a lot of good moments in the SPL, but I think the most memorable things were from the kickoff LAN, and it was like the atmosphere of the crowd, the energy, the being right next to who you're playing with, and just being a team as a whole, right together.
We went on a 9-game win streak, and then we got doo-dooed on again, and now we're here.
Actually, I had against SK in Wildcats. I think it was in the very last game. I had a pencil down with Thor, where I had our Phoenix, and we just won the game straight after.
Video there for all the role of the jungle and what that means and in competitive Smite. Cool stuff there, of course. I have to say again, just going back to what we just saw with that last matchup between We Love Bacon as well as Titan. I have to say, man, it was a very unfortunate instance for them, right? I mean, it seemed like they had this grand scheme. Everyone was like, oh, hype, but sometimes you just can't live up to the hype.
Well, I think the biggest part about it is their game 2 strat was a game 1 strat. and their game 1 strat was a game 2 strat, right? I would like to see them, if they're going to run a Zeus, run it in game 1, see if it works. If it doesn't work, go into game 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, if we're going to talk about it, let's talk about what changed the state of that game. And I think it was going to be that early Ao Guang double kill. Alienware play of the game goes to Repicas yet again. This guy is just on fire.
Our production team loves this guy.
I guess so. It's just going to be the Repicas machine gun. But machine gun is exactly what he is here with that sword. Once he pulls it out, the attack speed, especially with that movement speed buff, watch him set this up. He blinks in with the stealth, tries to get the slow, can't find it. He's moving to the back lane and find Thor here. You can see the delayed damage is all he needs. But even a tanky character like Osiris is very easy. And there is the Feed the Dragon game that we all love so much. I don't know where he puts it all, and he doesn't put on any weight, but somehow the dragon just keeps on eating.
Oh, yes, Feed the Dragon. And that came out a couple times as well. Like, that was just a closer for most of the gods that were trying to run away, most of the guys and, you know, the other team there, We Love Bacon, struggling. But now, we have to talk about, you know, on the We Love Bacon side, do you feel that, you know, they go back to, obviously they go back to the drawing board here. You know, this was a great experience for them. They're going to come away with a good chunk of change as well. So that is something to definitely be proud about. But moving forward for you, Allied in particular, how do you feel, you know, We Love Bacon just needs to adjust? And, you know, do you think that they made a statement here? How do you feel about the performance overall?
I feel like they made an impact in the tournament overall, and I feel like they did really well. They definitely show that, whoa, we can contend, we can compete. It's just minor kinks here and there. Going into mid to late game, they need to really work out like the tiny little problems they have with team fighting, setting the pace of the game. There's a lot of things that I saw they were missing that they could easily fix. I'm sure they're going to go home, practice it out, and I expect them to stay together, honestly. They're a great bunch of guys, so. Yeah,
really, you know, of course, wish the best for them as they head back home, and, you know, hopefully they stay for the rest of the show, because so far it's been a great time here, you know, at the Cobb Center. It's been phenomenal, as a matter of fact. You know, you have the Hall of Gods over there where you can play the Xbox One version of Smite, which is pretty cool, and there's been just been a lot of fun stuff that has been going down here this weekend. But yeah, so Zimp Titan, now moving forward, they're going to face off against SK, and how do you feel? Do you think SK still is very much ahead here?
I think SK is too far ahead for Titan to beat them at this point. I don't know, just Titan had, like the climb Titan had to come here. Well, it's like, if you look at SK, they just like steamrolled everything, right? And Titan had like, you know, they've been struggling.
That's some struggles, yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's just purely for SK's hype. They're just gonna like, you know, show them why they deserve to win this thing.
Yeah. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the map control there for you know, this matchup here and see, you know, what was the story of this matchup. We Love Bacon. It was such a different story from game one. You can click. We Love Bacon won map control. Although they lost game one, they proved that they were going toe to toe with them. This time around, a much different story.
I think it was just the drafting. The dual lane could not hold any kind of early objectives. They could not hold a lot of map control at all, just because it's Zeus Odin. Like, what can you really do? You can't really fight them anytime in the first 5 minutes, but yeah.
This is tough, right? You know, honestly, when I look at these stats, they don't really mean as much to me as a normal game would, just because the way that game began and the way it progressed was more of just this downward slope, gravity taking hold. Zeus falling behind too far in the early game and then never really being able to recover. Odin, of course, like we've mentioned time and time again, one of the slowest characters in the game. In fact, he has the slowest jump animation in the game. And so, same thing as Amir, if you fall behind, you're just going to keep dying because you can't get out of fights when you're in a bad position. You have fast characters like Ao Guang, blink in close to you, get the kill. I think this was just a fact of a pick order that it seemed like We Love Bacon hadn't practiced as much as they probably should have, especially going into game 2 of this best of 3s in the quarterfinals. It's unfortunate.
The other confusing pick also, which really didn't help, because the dual lane suffering is a problem, but you can overcome that, right? However, Nuwa was picked into Agni, and I'm not mid player by any means, but I believe she suffers in that matchup, and it really showed just because he was falling behind. And solo lane, you know, the trickle effect, I like to call it. It's like when your other 2 lanes are losing, you're definitely going to be losing the next 2 minutes. So it was just really unfortunate, but it's surprising that We Love Bacon still kept a little bit of map control. I mean, they've gotten their speed a couple of times, even with Ao Guang being that fed, so I was really surprised.
Another thing to note out too, by the way, the mid, right? Never getting their mid hard.
Yeah, I was going to mention that actually.
It's crazy.
100% mid camp control is indicative of just how much control Titan had. I mean, if you're not going to get a single mid camp, it's just a matter of time before, you know, the other team is level 20 and you're standing at level 13 and you have no damage. So it's I don't know, if you're falling that behind early, it's really hard to catch up. You have to at least try to make a push for it, because otherwise you're just slowly digging your own grave.
Yeah.
I think this is actually more to the trickle effect that you were talking about earlier, Allied. Just the fact that we saw Rachel in the solo lane forced to rotate a bunch to help lanes that were suffering. Same thing for the mid camps. I mean, when you're substantially behind, I mean, they were 7,000-8,000 gold behind the 10-minute mark. You don't really have a chance to do mid camps. There's so many things to take priority. You have to make sure you don't lose your back. Buff camps, you have to make sure that you're actually defending ganks. And, you know, Titan, a very aggressive team, especially when they're ahead, they, you know, increase that pace, quicken the pulse in a way that meant We Love Bacon had to prioritize other things but mid camps. And, you know, with each set of mid camps, 180 gold, 90 gold each of gold, that stacks up so quickly every 3 minutes.
Absolutely. I also want to give a huge shout out to EU and Ymir. The Ymir picks have been working out really well, and like most people in North America, including myself, would be like, oh, Ymir, unviable, just don't pick him, this, that, and the other. And EU's like, we first pick Ymir here, boys, and we carry.
Welcome
like,
to the fridge.
like shout outs to Young Badgie, shout outs to everyone, in like, it seems to be a very, very just well-valued pick in Europe.
I was actually in the Twitch chat. You know, of course, shout out to all the people that are, you know, chatting it away over there. And the Ymir emote spam was real. It was pretty cool. Like it was just like flood of Ymir.
Right.
You know? Like people were just like super stoked to see him out there. And you know, and again, like you said, it was just, you know, the confidence in that particular god just shines there. Good stuff out of them.
Well, speaking about confidence, let's talk about Cognitive Red. They're coming up next up against Oh My God. And, you know, while we were playing that game, obviously the game, you know, was ending, and we cut to us to talk about it. The players are coming on and off the stage. Cognitive Red, of course, they're already on the stage, and I heard while we were sitting here, 1, 2, 3, Red. I mean, they're so intense right now, and they're ready for it, right? That loss to SK Gaming was really hard. And if you're getting ready to watch the Cognitive Red matchup against OMG, we're getting right into it, starting in about 10 minutes here right for the Smite World Championship powered by Cursed Voice. And this is the matchup that determines whether or not the international teams can make their claim on this weekend, because OMG is the final remaining non-NAEU team on the roster. We have 5 teams left in the running, as of course we did unfortunately see that elimination for We Love Bacon in the last matchup. You gotta see this match, because OMG, you know they're coming in hot. They're learning as much as they can, as quickly as they can, but Cognitive Red, they're not gonna give them breathing room.
One thing I will say, everyone who loves Smite, who wants to get into Smite, who's curious about Smite, should watch this match. And the reason is, you know, Cog Red, phenomenal squad, definitely a team that you want to learn from. But I will say this much, if OMG pulls this one out, it could be one of the most shocking events in esports history.
By far.
I mean,
And on top of which, everyone would have witnessed it, and they would have cemented their place. They would have, yet last night I said, China is knocking on the door of greatness. If they can pull this down, they've pretty much just thrust kicked that right to the floor and said, no, we gave you a good knock. No, we're in the apartment right now. We're here. This is our house.
We're taking your clothes.
Yeah, we're taking your clothes.
And we're giving you, instead of your clothes, we're giving out our t-shirts, because that's what I want. Like, absolutely, I would.
It all goes back to the t-shirt.
You're wearing this
It always goes back to the
But honestly, like, if Cognitive Red were to lose this seat, like, I just mind blow everyone NA.
Yeah.
Be like absolutely shocked.
I also want an OMG jacket, because those dudes have like probably the
sweet.
coolest looking jackets in the world.
That or TSM, those jackets are crazy.
Yeah, either one. Sam, your thoughts?
Rip TSM.
Oh my God.
Poor guy.
Anyway, so
shutting that dream down. Okay.
oh my God, that's my okay. So yeah, what I think is gonna happen is the same thing we just saw. I think OMG is gonna actually surprise a lot of people early game. However, second game after they lose, it's gonna be the same thing we saw here. Because I mean, it feels like in best of ones, like we talked about yesterday, they would do great because people don't know what to do. But once you figure it out, you know, these great teams, they analyze the situation, they will adapt to it, and It's gonna be.
That's actually a great thing to talk about. We always have best of threes. Let's bring up the bracket and look how things are looking right now. Best of threes for the quarterfinals, best of threes for the semifinals. You can see on the knockout stage in the middle of the screen on the left side that SK Gaming and Titan are waiting to face off in a best of three later today after the match you see coming at you. And that's going to be the right side of that knockout stage. Cognitive Red up against Oh My God in a best of three matchup to determine whether or not Cognitive Red can make it into the semis. Their sister team Cognitive Prime is waiting for them in the semifinal for another best of threes. But remember, guys, going into tomorrow, we've got a consolation match to see who's going to win third place and fourth place, plus a best of 5 to see who's the champion of the Smite World Championship.
That's right. We could potentially see an well, we're definitely going to see an all EU matchup, and we could potentially see all NA. That means no matter what, we will have an NA EU, of course,
or China.
Or China. And I'm not counting out OMG. But I'm saying, like, you know, the betting man, right? The betting man would say that, you know, Cog Red will overcome OMG, and that would be pretty cool. But we'll see how this plays out, because Lord knows it has just been a absolutely insanely day, you know, and I'm really looking forward to this next match. So I think it's time.
It's time.
All right, well, let's go ahead, guys. Toss it over to Kelly over at the main stage as she gets us ready for this awesome matchup between Cog Red and OMG.
Thank you so much. But before we get ready for the second game, I'm going to talk to Ataraxia here from Titan. You guys, the game one, your early game seemed a little weak, and it almost looked like We Love Bacon was going to take the game off of you. But in game two, you guys had such a strong early game. What changed between the two games?
For me, I think that the entire event up until now, up until that last game actually, has been a confidence struggle for us. I think we've been off our game against everyone. And that final game was us getting back on form and showing everyone what we can do. So expect more games like that all through the rest of the tournament.
Which team here has surprised you the most?
I would say OMG as a team. I've prepared so much, and I think people have really underestimated how much work they actually put into this, especially with how much time they actually had. On a player level, Huey from We Love Bacon is amazing. He really, if he doesn't stay in the esports scene, I will be heartbroken, because he deserves to be here. He's fantastic. So.
How do you feel the play style from these teams, from OMG or from QE3Q, from We Love Bacon, is different from your style?
I feel I think it's an experience thing. The NA and EU teams have obviously been around for a lot longer, so they're more experienced at the later stages of the game and how to really pressure people and take a lead and win a game with it. And I think that the Chinese teams and the Latin American teams just don't have the experience with that yet. So I think it's something that comes with time rather than you can't really just know it, you know?
Well, good luck in your upcoming game. And everyone, we are going to be right back after this little video called the Smite Machinima Episode 3.
Why did he drop us from so high up?
It's because I called him Greek. Whatever. Roman gods are practically the same thing.
Bite your tongue. Never, ever compare the Greek and Roman gods, especially if the Romans are nearby. Sensitive topic, huh? The Romans are like the red-headed stepchild compared to the Greeks. Mix them up and you've practically declared war. Has anyone seen Tyr? Oh, now that you mention it.
Maybe he was dematerialized during the interdimensional teleportation, and now there's just tiny bits of his shredded body floating through the air.
God's damn it, Hell.
Hell! I'm over here!
Aww.
Just jump and get down here. We need to go. I can't. I don't know how to swim.
Just leap all the way down to the beach. You can easily do it.
You really think so? Yeah, no one can jump as far as you. Oh, you got this.
If you die, can Fenrir have your other hand?
Shut up, Loki.
Well, I tried.
Okay, I'm going for it. I think I can make it. I can make it.
Hiking! Well, at least he's down now.
Wow, the Greeks have it made. Just look at this place.
This isn't the Olympus I remember. No matter. I suppose that's our destination. Let us make haste.
I spy with my little eye something dead.
Is it your heart?
Yes, Dad, you're so smart.
We're almost there. Hold your banter.
Odin, you're not usually this tense.
It has been many eons since the Pantheons have gathered, and it is never a happy occasion when it occurs. And all of you are fooling around, not taking any of this seriously. Father, lives could be lost. You think the Greek or Egyptian or Chinese gods are playing I Spy?
He's just mad because he's missing an eye.
Compose yourselves. I sense something. He is coming.
Odin, brother, welcome to my domain.
Hello, Zeus.
Oh. He doesn't like Zeus, does he?
Nope. Beard envy.
Oh, how adorable. You still have little braids in your beard.
Odin's not tense because of this ominous force. It's because of Zeus's beard?
Women just don't get it.
Excuse me?
A beard is more than just facial hair. It's a statement.
A manly statement.
Enlighten me.
Well, look around you. Every distinguished, powerful, respectful man here has a beard.
And then there's Loki.
Thank you.
You're telling me that your beard gives you your strength.
I want a beard. Give me your f***ing beard.
You brought the whole crew, I see. Fantastic. The more the merrier.
Where are the rest of the Pantheons?
You're the first to arrive. The others will be here shortly.
Pardon me, Zeus, but what can we do to help prepare?
Do not fret, Freya. My children are already taking care of the preparations. You all just relax for the time being. And if any of you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, no.
Yes?
Why don't our mouths move when we talk?
Huh. I don't know.
She's right. Is that normal?
Does this mean I'm telepathic?
Perhaps we're all telepathic.
It's pronounced telepathic. Never mind.
Are they always like this?
Yes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tom F. Battinger, joined here by my friend Justin. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, F-Swag. How you doing?
All right, hit me with the F-Swag. So why don't you tell, obviously we know each other. Why don't you tell us and everybody at home a little bit about what you do?
Well, my name's Justin Delario, and I'm one of the owners of Smite Central and Mortality Esports.
Awesome. So, guy that wears two hats. We've got some Mortality fans in the house as well. So let's start off a little bit with Smite Central. That's a community website. Why don't you talk a little about what it is?
Well, Smite Central is a community website where our aim is to provide quality content. We host tournaments that the community can partake in, and we try to report on as much news as we can.
Awesome. So you guys have a weekly Conquest tournament. Some of the production guys go ahead and they carry hi-rez Brad through those tournaments. Do they ever really come up on top, or?
Well, the production guys from hi-rez, at least some of the recent hires, have all worked with us in Smite Central, including you. But Adonis and Mogi, who helps out on some other tournaments, have all worked with us at Smite Central too before.
Nice. So you guys do an awesome, part. You guys are an awesome part of the community. A lot of cool stuff out from there, and that's the community aspect. Let's talk about the real stuff, the esports. Tell us about Mortality and where it's at right now.
Well, Mortality is one of the few organizations that could say we were actually born in Smite. We started with a European Smite team with some players, some who are no longer here actually, like Exotic. But fast forward to now, Mortality is a multi-game organization. We're carrying multiple partners and sponsorships, and we're happy to still be involved in Smite.
Nice. So, you guys are pretty much born of Smite. What are the challenges of becoming, not just a single game, but moving on to a second game and focusing on a Smite team and, being successful?
Finding the money to support all those things. It's all, whenever you decide to take on any kind of entrepreneurial endeavor,
you have to decide for yourself, how much of my own money am I willing to put into this? At what point am I going to say, okay, I need to stop, and if I'm not earning enough through investors, then we're not doing well. There's definitely been some times where I just pulled my wallet out to make things happen instead of relying on a sponsor's payment to come, but it's working out well.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. Sometimes you just got to make the soup yourself. So, moving forward, there were 2 European teams here. None of them are Mortality. How are you going to fix that next year?
Well, Mortality, our new roster, which is yet to be announced, is it's looking really strong. It's already competing in tournaments on the weekends. It's going to include some of the previous players of Mortality. We've parted ways with some of our previous...
Who's on the roster?
hi-rez.
Who else?
I don't know, really.
Worth a shot, folks. Worth a shot. So we got Raffer, and who else knows? That's going to be Mortality. Do you have anything else you want to say to everybody at home?
Just that I just want to thank hi-rez as somebody that has put a lot of money into building communities in Smite and other games as well. This weekend's been terrific, and it really feels good to be appreciated with just like extra VIP treatment, food, drinks. It really makes you feel like all that time and effort has been worth it because hi-rez appreciates it.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is. It's a big part of the community. Hell, it's one of our teams in our Smite Pro League. So we look forward to the future of Mortality Esports and everything else you guys can bring to us. That's it for us. Back to you, Kelly.